Hi, welcome to this final session in the Basics of Human Resource Management course. In this session, we are looking at some of the future trends that are shaping the future of human resource management. So here we will be referring to a research which is done by an HR consulting firm known as Willis Towers Watson. So it's an international HR consulting firm which does a lot of work in human resource management. It advises companies on how to make their HR departments better. So these are 6 trends that they have identified as the future of HRM based on the progress of technology. So today, if you see, there are lots of technological innovations, social media, the mobile phones have become better and better. The data speeds have become better and better. So what all these factors, the new technological innovations, what are their implications for the HR departments? So they have identified 6 specific trends. These are: the first is transformation of leadership. The second is more personalized and transparent total rewards. Third is improving the employee experience by applying product design thinking. Fourth is targeted recruitment driven by social media and cognitive assessment. Fifth is leveraging people analytics to improve organizational performance. And sixth is redefining human resource management. So if you look at each of these trends, actually has a specific role to play in the various stages of an employee life cycle, which we saw in the very first lecture, right from recruitment, then training, then performance management, then employee satisfaction and engagement, and then exits. So each of these trends has a specific application in one or more of these phases. So we'll look at each of these trends in detail in the following slides. So the first is transformation of leadership. So traditionally, the delegation of authority in an organization usually follows a formal hierarchical structure with clear lines of accountability. So what happens is, when you join an organization, you are joining at the entry level. Okay, so let's say you're entering as an executive. There will be somebody of a senior executive above you. Above the senior executive, there might be a manager. Above manager, there is senior manager. Then there is department head, and then there is CEO. So this is what you call a hierarchy. So some initiatives, if it is taken by CEO, that CEO will first tell the department head, then the department head will tell the manager, then the manager will tell the senior executive, and then the senior executive will tell the executive. So this is what you call an hierarchy. So this is called a delegation of authority, right? So this is what is being done currently, but it is predicted that the future will belong to networked organizations. What does network organization means? So it will enable individuals to initiate leadership, even if sometimes without formal authority. So for example, somebody at an entry level can suggest something related to work, or how certain things could be done in a better way, or what are the new ideas that the organization should be working on, and it will be taken up by the organization and executed as per the suggestions of even somebody as at an entry level. So how is this going to happen? Because of technology. So because technology will evolve, it will enable people to communicate with each other in a better way. It will enable the higher management to communicate with the lower management in a better way. So basically, any employee in an organization can suggest his or her feedback to the top management in order to initiate a new product or a new service. So that's what you call transformation of leadership. And because technology is progressing at such a fast pace, it is going to be possible. The second trend is more personalized and transparent total rewards. Rewards means basically the benefits that you get. So your salary, the other perks and benefits that you get, bonus. So all these things come under the title of rewards. So many organizations are transforming into a job-based pay structure, and this allows employees to more easily compare pay to those offered to others. So what used to happen was, not earlier, even today, many companies are paying the same salary to the same roles across departments. So even if some departments are not that important, or some departments or some roles are more important to an organization than other roles, people over there are getting the same payments or same rewards which are available to other employees in the same role or same designation. So what is happening is the high performance people who are really putting hard work, they don't really see any benefit of putting in hard work, because even somebody who is not putting so much hard work is also getting paid the same amount of money. So they don't feel like, you know, contributing more or taking initiatives. So what is happening is, so now because of earlier salary information was highly confidential, so even if somebody was sitting right next to you, it was almost it was very difficult to find out what that person is getting paid. But now because of technology, because of social media, you can find out you know, how others people in your own organization are getting paid, because there are services like LinkedIn, which I mentioned, like social networks or professional networks, or even there are review sites where employees can post reviews of their companies anonymously, where they can mention salaries. So salary information is no longer confidential because of technology, social media and government regulations, because government also asks some organizations to publish their salaries paid to top management. So top management salary, how much they are getting paid, is generally not confidential. Anybody can access it. So this changing business models and shifting nature of work are now challenging the individual performance definition and the role of base pay. So what companies are going for is, so they will earlier pay or salary was restricted to a particular designation or a role in a or a role in an organization. Now what is happening is, even people with same designation can have different salaries or different rewards based on the work that they are doing. So instead of just having a designation based salary or reward system, companies or HR departments rather are actually now looking into the content of work which is being done by individual employees and paying them accordingly. So this is being enabled by technology. So that is one of the trends which is affecting the development of future HR. And the third trend is improving the employee experience by applying product design thinking. So what is product design thinking? So it's a new concept from Silicon Valley, which is the US IT sector. So product design thinking basically means that you develop a product by assuming the viewpoint of users, how the users are going to use that product, what are the problems that they are going to face. So HR is also adopting this product design thinking, in which it is designing policies and procedures based on the end user, which is employees. So any new policy which is being designed, any new procedure which is being implemented in the system, when it is designed, the HR manager thinks about it from the point of view of an employee who is going to execute that process. So in the digital era, talent and ideas rather than capital have become the key factors driving growth. So today it is all about talent. If the company which has better employees is ultimately going to win in the marketplace. So most employees are now looking at other factors beyond pay. So when top performing employees are looking at which companies to join, they don't just look at salary. They look at other factors such as vision to change the world, impact on environment, and ethics of competition and labor. These are very important factors these days. You may not understand it at this point of time, but especially in West, people do not really want to join a company which does not have a good reputation. So a company which is polluting the environment, companies in the oil and gas sector, highly polluting sectors, people don't really want to join these companies. Good people don't really want to join these companies, because it is not just about money. They also want to tell their friends, tell their relatives, tell their parents that they are working for a company which is doing good. So that's why HR department need to think from the point of view of an employee to design policies, procedures that are helpful to the employees. Trend 4 is targeted recruitment driven by social media and cognitive assessment. So there are two trends which are shaping the IT industry's future. We'll look at these trends when we do the basics of IT industry course. But two trends which are shaping the IT industry as artificial intelligence and machine learnings. And these trends can be used to revamp and improve the current recruitment process. So currently, when we as we saw in the recruitment process, what happens is the HR manager will get hundreds of applications. Then the person will have to manually scan through each of these applications and then create a shortlist. then contact these candidates and create a list for interviews. So what is happening is, because of advances in technology, this shortlisting procedure can be automated. So the HR department can set some parameters which are used to automatically filter or automatically create the shortlist from a pool of applicants. So such systems can reduce the man hours required for HR recruitment. They can also lead to the elimination of human error, because the shortlisting is not really that difficult a task. So you have certain qualifications that are required for the job, educational qualifications as well as work experience qualifications. So you just create an IT system that looks at all these applications and removes all the applications which do not meet these specified qualification standards. The next trend is leveraging people analytics to improve organizational performance. So people analytics means data about people. So because of technology, see, whatever you do is now creating a data. So you use Facebook, it is creating a data source. What kind of pages you visit, what kind of pictures or posts that you like, what do you comment on, how many people like your comment. So all this information is called people analytics. And because HR is now using technology more and more, the use of people analytics and predictive talent models can enable HR more effectively and rapidly identify, recruit, develop and retain the right talent, which can help the business to improve organizational performance. So these days you will be surprised that when you apply to a company, in addition to your application or resume, some companies also look at the social media history of applicants, and there are stories where people are rejected jobs because they posted something offensive on their Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so other instances that with data analytics for recruitment, HR may find the correlation between academic background and performance to identify and hire the right fit for the organization. Again, using technology, using certain parameters to predict whether certain applicant is going to do well in that particular job or not. So that is what you mean by leveraging people analytics to improve organizational performance. And the final trend is redefining human resource management. So as I said, all these trends are driven by the use of technology in the HR department. Earlier, everything was used to be done by paper and pen. So when you applied to companies, you actually had to take a printout of your resume, go to that company and submit it there, or mail by using post. Mail your resume using post to that company. So because now we are seeing lots of internet, such things are now things of the past. Now you use online methods. Okay, you either email your resume to the company, or you go to the company website where they have a application process. So everything is done online. So because everything is done online, there is a lot of data which is being generated. So HR department is using this data to improve itself. So organizations are putting people analytics at the core. Data analytics is embedded into day-to-day HR processes consistently, and its predictive power is used to drive better decision making. So all these 3, 4, 5 trends which I explained in detail, how technology can be used to predict the outcomes, whether an employee will be a good fit or not, whether a job is required or not, what kind of impact does a job have on the organization goals. So all these things are now possible to be done or implemented using technology. So to drive improvements in operational performance, HR is becoming more agile. So functional changes in HR operations are freeing up HR professionals for more strategic work. Like I said, now recruitment you can almost automate. You can create the shortlist automatically. So the HR department, so the HR manager does not have to go through hundreds of applications individually. Right? The computer is already doing it for him or her. So whatever time he is saving by not going through hundreds of applications, that time he can put to use in a much better way. So that is what is meant by functional changes in HR operations are freeing up HR professionals for more strategic work. So these are some of the future trends which are driven by technology, which are going to shape the human resource management in years to come. So with this we finish the basics of human resource management course. We covered most of the important topics in HR, and given the time constraints, I hope that we did a good justice to some of the key topics which we covered, and I hope that it has ignited your curiosity about the subject matter, that is human resource management, and Feel free to explore any of these concepts on Google. There is lots of material which is available on Google, and I hope this course has been useful to you. Thank you.